It is the real deal. Hey, Tasha.
Hi, Sharon. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you? How are you?
I'm good. Let me turn on my comments. So when we have
Yeah,
our
let's
people,
turn on the comments. So let's just tell the people
watching.
who we are. I am Sharon and I am in North Carolina.
And I'm Tasha. And
And
for security purposes, I can't reveal my location.
man, you in Florida. Man, you in your mama house in Florida.
I have been enjoying my time in Florida. Thank you. Yeah.
And we are the accountability queens. And what we do is we help women, we support women. We've been accountability partners for 10 years.
Almost 10 years. Yeah.
10 years. And so it's something that sort of evolved out of us just supporting each other and becoming the women that we wanted to become. And we then took that to helping other women. And now we coach other women and we hold them accountable and we help them to reach their dreams. And it's such a fulfilling experience, right?
That was a mouthful. Slow down.
Transparency. While we are still in COVID, I still on occasion participate in a virtual happy hour. I cannot say what's going to happen.
And I'm not happy in this hour. So.
I have enough happy juice for the both of us. And so I am going to ask that any one of you have any comments. Listen, join us in the conversation because we're going to get into it.
And Saucy Sharon is fun. So
Saucy Sharon is fun. All right.
Hey, Denise.
Hey, Denise. How you doing, honey? All right. So tonight's conversation, AQ chat, is it a push? Is it better actually to be a push or pull? Now this came from, initially it came from, shout out to Deb Owens in Maryland. She is doing her thing with Wealth University and helping women and empowering women in finances and making sure that they become self-sufficient and understand the stock market and how they invest. And she told me years ago, it was after a sermon, and I never forgot it. Her pastor said, when it's of God, it should be a push, right? When you walk through the door, it should actually be a push. If you have to pull on it to open it up, it ain't of God. You just got to let your hands go. But you and I have been talking about this from some time, and we see it differently.
I mean, I think it's according to the day. I can absolutely, I'm probably sure if I had heard that sermon, I'd be like, oh yes, amen. Just want to push, right? Just want to push through the door.
Yes.
But when I started to think about it more, I was like, should it really be a push or a pull?
I mean,
and then I listened to a talk and the gentleman talked about pulling being more of influence, right? Trying to like pull somebody into a situation instead of pushing them into a situation, right? And so I think I can see it from both sides. I think it's according to the day. Like if you ask me today what my favorite color is, it might be different tomorrow.
Well, but all right, so talk to me about what is this pulling someone into, because I don't want to pull nobody into nothing.
I think he was just using pull as an example of being more influential instead of trying to push. And so standing as an example that he used was trying to get his dog into the car, right?
Yeah.
His wife would be on the outside trying to push the dog into the car, and the dog didn't want to get in the car, but he just went and got in the car and was like, hey dog, come on, get in the car, right? And the dog got in the car because the dog wanted to go wherever he was going. And so it was like, I'm just going to influence you, right? I'm going to do what I want you to do or show you how it should be done and just kind of pull you along with me. So it's kind of like, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing to try and push you into doing anything. I'm just going to keep going. I see you. That's what I'm saying. Like, listen.
Look at my face, though. Look at my face. Look at my face. Cause low key, cause what you're not gonna do, cause that ain't pulling nobody, right? That is not pulling the dog in. That's not a pull, right? All right. So Denise says pushing will take you forward. pulling can take you back.
Listen, so she says push.
Right. I'm with the push. When it's a push, I could put my hands out. It's a push. It's a push. Right. But here's what I'm saying. Like, because low key, he didn't pull that dog into that car. That ain't what that man did. Okay. He didn't.
Listen, you can also look pushing, you have to be behind somebody, pushing them, and pulling, you are in front of them and pull, and you're not stopping what you're doing. You're just like, if you coming with me, come on.
Listen, if you're standing on the top of a mountain and I just go like this, psh, you're falling off. Ain't a whole lot of work involved. The action will be completed with as minimal effort as possible, right?
Let this be part of the record. If I go by being pushed off the side of a mountain,
it won't my fault.
Who did it?
But I mean, so
I get it.
Right, because his example, and we talk about this with accountability, and I think it's important, right? Because we often, and we've seen this, right, with women that we coach, right? And we have one client who we were like, this is about to be a difficult ride for you, right? There are some things that you're going to have to change about your life to get the goals that you have set for yourself. And you remember, old girl sat there, no. And so it was, well, listen, I mean, we couldn't push her into doing something she wanted to do. I mean, nor could we pull her. I'm going to say no, we couldn't pull her. We couldn't pull her.
We couldn't push her either.
But
right? So that's why I'm thinking.
But didn't we, though?
Maybe it's according to the situation.
Because we did kind of push her. Because ultimately, we said, if you want what you say you want, you're going to have to change your decision. But it's completely up to you to change your decision. It's up to you what your outcome, you want your outcome to be.
Is that a push?
And then a pull. All right. I know we got people watching. I want to hear what other people got to say. Like, what, I mean, and how do you want to be motivated, right? How are you? So let me ask you, how are you motivated? I have a sense of it, but, as being an accountability partner with you for 10 years.
Oh, I love a challenge, right? Oh That's my motivation. I don't like to be last. And I look at everything as a challenge because I'm a winner. I'm an overachiever. I want an A in every class. I want 100% on every test. You know what I mean?
I know. I know. So
doing better than before or than the guy next to me in the box, right? Like that is motivating for me. How are you motivated? I'm not,
I'm not moved by challenges.
I know you're not, but we pull you along with us.
I mean, I am not moved. I could care less about a challenge. I'm like, whatever. I'm not moved by guilt, right? I think guilt are weak attempts to try to get me to do something like, oh, you tried that. That's a shame that you tried that because all that effort was for nothing, right?
I mean, go ahead.
But I think motivating me would be focusing, I think, for me on why I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing. That's it. How bad do you want it? What does it mean for me to have something that I want? That's the motivation for me.
Okay.
Why you doing the slow nod? Why you like see? Now there's the homie Naya Sean. Facts. Now let me say this, because I'm not gonna go deep into it, but you can't make that chick do nothing. Here.
Naya Sean,
you can't make her do nothing.
Yeah.
You could try if you want. You hit a concrete wall that's 10 feet.
I don't know whose phone that is.
It's yours.
It's not mine.
Okay. But I'm saying, yeah, you can't, right? Big facts, Aries gang. Exactly.
So if I had to choose between pushing and pulling,
yeah,
I think if I look at pulling as someone else doing something without me being a concern, then I'm motivated by the pulling. I'm I'm challenging you, even if you don't know I'm challenging you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my motivation. I like to
Well,
say,
you are motivated by a challenge. I will say the words that Deb Owen said to me years ago, and she probably doesn't even remember that she said it to me or shared it with me. And isn't it interesting when someone says something and it becomes life changing? You know what I mean? Like Naya Shawn and I had this conversation recently. She said something to me years ago. And I'm like, I never forgot that. She's like, I never even remember saying that to you. I'm like, but it changed my life. She's like, I don't even remember that conversation. But so she said, and so now I look at all situations. Am I working too hard for this? Am I working too hard? Because if I'm working too hard, no, this ain't for me. I'm okay. I'm gonna take my hands off of it. I'm gonna take my hands off of it.
yes. So I was going to say, but some things require some work, right?
Yes.
But when I went to think a little more, when I take my hands off of it, not a push or a pull, right?
Right. But low key, that goes back to our last conversation, right? And y'all can go back to our Facebook page and see the last conversation. Is it easier to change me or fix you? It kind of leads hand in hand, because low key, what we're saying is I'm taking my hands off it. You know what I mean? I'm not even I'm gonna accept you right where you at. Just whatever it is, whatever that situation is, right there. And
is a growth area for me.
Yes.
Because sometimes I feel like people need to be pushed and or pulled, or both, according to the situation, right? Just because of what it is. And so that's a growth area for me because I'm bossy.
Listen, as long as you said it and I ain't have to say it for you. I appreciate when people are honest with who they are in life. Praise the Lord.
I know me. So I like things my way.
Yeah.
And I'm going to push for things to be my way.
Yeah. I mean, and I feel
Brother Anthony's in the house. I've always considered pulling as against the person's will and pushing as support. Both are needed depending on the situation. Okay, I see. We're voting for push tonight. Listen, I can be swayed. I can be challenged. Aries gang.
Another Aries gang. My Aries is in the house tonight.
Happy birthday, y'all.
What's happening?
Isn't your season almost over?
Huh?
Your season's almost over. You just got a few more days.
Listen, it's always. Listen, when the Aries are in the house, this is just, oh my God. All right. And that's a throwback for anyone who's a hip hop head. They understand. Tasha, I know you don't know what I just said. I know you don't.
I don't. Our season never ends.
Our season never ends. I mean, but I'm trying to think of an environment in where I would want to be pulled into something. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, think about something in your life that
a boat. Maybe if you've fallen over the side.
I want to be pulled back. Yes. You know what? I'll go for a pulling back. Okay. Okay. It's never over. I'm with Anthony. The Aries season is never over. I mean, I'm here for being pulled back into, like, sis, you're doing way too much. Right? I mean, and that's part of the conversation that we're having. When do we know that we are doing way too much? So Miss Anque is here. Talk about bossy.
Who is she bossy too?
She's an Aries. She's also an Aries.
Oh. This turned into an Aries conversation.
The whole conversation string has turned into an Aries conversation. But I mean, when do you want to be, when is there a time, when are we doing way too much? And I think that's when we have to have the conversation.
I mean, that takes developing a relationship, right? Because you can't hear that from everybody.
Yes.
I'm like, she don't know what she's talking about. She don't know me or my life, right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say it sometimes because I don't know you or your life,
Yeah.
I might think it, you doing too much, right? Because if it were me in that situation, but me in a situation would be completely different, right? And so I think developing that relationship where you get to that point where you can say,
Yeah, but you know what though? But I'm gonna play devil's advocate to my own thing. There are some things in life you better fight like hell for, right? And it ain't gonna be easy. And dang nabbit, if you want it, you probably better fight like hell. And that is, but grown in maturity says, but you better have a place where you stop. Because again, another sermon. There be some sermons from my life in Maryland that were amazing, right? There's sometimes God is trying to take something out of your life, but you fighting to keep it in your life.
right.
You're doing way too much.
It's that thin line, right? They talk about thin line between love and hate, but there's a thin line between fighting for it and throwing your hands up.
Yeah.
Maybe not throwing your hands up, but falling back from it for a little bit.
Listen, I come to appreciate the power of a good fallback. A good fallback. I wish I had known that in my 20s, the power of the fallback.
Man, the lessons we learn. Anthony says it depends on who's pulling. It may not be pleasant, but it may be what's needed. Yeah.
Yeah. It may not be pleasant.
For either party.
Right. It takes strength and wisdom to know. And me too. Yeah. Yeah. It does. Like, it's a growth thing. Like, but also I think you made a very good point. Everybody can't tell you everything. Right? It's what I love that Anthony says, sounds like a book. The thin line between push and pull. Oh, shucks. That's my guy. That's my guy. I love that dude.
The
right?
Push is motivation. The pull seems like an attempt to control. Well, maybe that's why I erred on the side of the pull, because I'm bossy. I like to be in control. So listen, my areas of growth, right? But there has to be balance. There has to be some balance. Some things need to be controlled. Right?
Here's what I was sitting there having this conversation. I was having this conversation, like, if I knew, God, youth is wasted on the young. Is that the term? Youth is wasted on the young?
I don't know that one.
You don't.
I don't.
It's a really powerful thing that people say that probably came from an African proverb. Okay. And you just don't know it. Okay. Youth is
proverbs be on point.
They do, and you just don't know this one. But anyway,
Sean said that's it. Youth is wasted on the young.
Yes.
Youth is wasted on the young.
Because if I knew then, like, because the fallback is real. Like, I was having this conversation with someone. I don't get upset. I don't raise my voice. I don't do all of the shenanigans that I thought. I don't know that you ever did. You could probably stand a little heat. You probably could, though. Probably could.
That I should offer some heat?
You could probably stand a little heat in your life. You be real mild sometimes. You do be.
Listen, I don't think it's necessary to raise my voice. If we can't have an intelligent conversation.
Hands down. Absolutely right.
With anybody, right? You hear me talking to my kids.
Yeah. No, listen, I hear you with your kids. Your kids be screaming for life. I swear, Child Protective Services need to be called, and you be like, use your voice. Use your voice.
I can't understand what you're saying to me.
I cannot understand what you're saying right now. What are you crying for? Okay,
bring it down a little bit.
You don't know what you're crying for? Okay, then you should probably stop.
I don't need no fire in my life.
No, but that's the truth, right? I realize that. No, I'm just, the worst thing that I can do to you is leave your life. Ooh. Yeah, that's the worst thing I can do. I ain't got to get upset. I ain't got to get mad.
Nope.
I can just fall back. Yeah.
But some people want that, right?
Yeah.
That fire and that passion makes them feel like you care.
That joint is dysfunctional.
Yeah.
That joint is functional. But right, so okay, so who else? What we got in here? Who else believes that it's a push or a pull? I see Nicole Anque finds us funny. Listen, you are the baby whisperer. Your child be straight wildin', and you are the baby whisperer.
You know, you talk about life-changing things. I read that, you know, my voice will become their inner voice.
Yeah.
And I don't want yelling and screaming to be their inner voice, right? I want to teach them how to meditate and yoga and Zen and be able to think things through logically. So, yeah. And who lets a 4-year-old take them out of their character, right? Come on.
Listen, don't ask somebody to raise their hand on that one because I mean, listen, don't be challenging people who lets a 4-year-old take them out of their character. You can't judge people like that. That ain't right. That ain't right. Anything could be happening. All right. Listen, that's Gangsta E. Evangeline Davis said. Does she know that I call her Gangsta E?
She doesn't know.
Oh, she knows today. Oh yeah. I have a nickname for you, Gangsta E. Couldn't wait for Tasha to get down to Gangsta E.
Yeah, they say I had the patience of Job.
Listen, they stay a heck of a lot stronger than mine. You know, sometimes we're on the phone. I'm like, nah, G, you got that one. You got that one. You got that one. But
I think, hey, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
I think overwhelming, right? The vote tonight is for push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's because listen, if you think about someone on your back, it's you're just pushing someone forward. Maybe not as fast as they want to go. Maybe you learn how to ease up and push. But in accountability, I like to say that
I like the support on the back.
Yeah. I think you push me, right? I think you push me even when I don't want it, right? But I think that's again relationship. You push me when I don't. And you are. Like we were working out the other day and we were doing these dips and you got to go deeper. And I'm like, no, she ain't.
She'd be like, it's the angle of my phone. I am going down.
I mean, you just shouting it out. You ain't got no niceness to it. It's early in the morning. I ain't had no deep sleep. You got to go deep. You ain't doing it right. You know what I'm saying? That's all I heard. You ain't doing it right.
It's not what I said.
I know what you said, though. It is.
Sorry, that's the way you took it.
Go deep.
I'm pushing you. My hand is on your back. I'm supporting you.
Man, you was like, dip. She said, dip. I said, I'm doing it. You know, I could do it different. I could do it my way. Yeah.
She intimidates you. Come on, Mom. Jeez. I'm trying to intimidate people.
Listen. It's kind of who you are, you know? It's kind of who you are. All right. Well, that has been our conversation tonight. It has been.
We're going to end on Gangsta E's comment, huh?
Listen, Gangsta E's. She came in and she dropped her mic. I mean, what are you doing right now?
I learned from the best. How about that?
You might have. All right. It has been a pleasure, my accountability partner.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Good night. We're about to go over.
Oh, wait. Tell them where they can find us.
Oh, my bad. I'm a little saucy. You can find us at accountabilityqueens.com. And you can always email us at info@accountabilityqueens.com. You can follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Come here, get it. We're here for coaching. We got all the sauce for you. You can tell when I've had a little.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.